is we always talk about the kids, all they're getting. But, man, this guy's giving back. And we got guys that are playing in the big leagues now that are here with us. Joe Adell sitting over here looking like he's straight out of Wakanda. And then you look at Justin Dunn on the end over here. Guys, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you getting here this morning.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
I'm telling you, you look like a Hollywood movie star, man.
Nah, you know what? At the end of the day, you dress right, you feel right, and that's what I'm going to go by. So,
how's the workouts going this winter? You feeling good?
It's going really good. I'm really excited. Really pushed the issue. I started a little bit earlier with lifts and training than I have years prior, and I'm ready. You know, at the end of the day, I'm coming out in spring, and it's like we talked about, go in and try to make a team.
Justin, you throwing already?
I am throwing. First bullpen next week. Excited to get on the mound, man. Like Joe said, been locked in and ready to go take a job, earn a spot on the team, and kind of start to solidify myself a little bit more.
So let's talk about the Dream Series and why you guys here this morning. See why? Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good thing about Arizona, you have so many guys who live here already, and then you have events like the Dream Series that come up. Why was it important for y'all to be able to come over here? And y'all didn't come up through this same program, but y'all still felt that it was important for you to be here and help these young players out.
Well, I think for me, I live right up the road. Obviously, Tempe being with the Angels, this is, stomping grounds for me during spring. And to go in, I went in and talked with the fellas earlier this morning for about 15 minutes. And really what I got out of it was the connection and the brotherhood that you see in the clubhouse. When you talk about minority players coming together in an event like this and watch it grow over the years. I remember when I first started hearing about it at the end of my high school career. It's great. And to have, monarchs of the game here coaching and guiding these players through, they're going to remember this forever. It's like I was saying earlier, the Royce Lewises, J.D., K. Lews, the Taylor Trammels, all these guys that I remember playing with and coming through travel ball and high-level circuits, to watch them and see them in the big leagues and make that connection again is special. So I think that's what this event allows for the players to enjoy and to continue to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been something I've been trying to get out to. My buddy that is in MLB right now, works for MLB, has been trying to get me to come to this for a year, but being on the East Coast, it was always hard for me to make that travel. So when I made this move out here, I called him right away. I was like, when are the dates? I know I got to be here. And coming up in the Seattle locker room in 19 and 20, when we had 13 guys that looked like us, and being able to get to know D and Ty and all those older guys, and seeing how big of a mentor they were for me, and even in college when having Chris Archer reach out to me. So just being able to come back and give those guys something to look up to, something to see, and see that they're on the right path, and this is obtainable, and be a big brother and give information to them when they need it.
You know what I think is interesting, too, is you both came to pro ball different ways. You went through college at BC, and you came out of the draft out of high school. So as we get a chance now and see these different avenues that are opening up, college seems to start to open up a little bit more for African-American players than it did in previous years. So tell me a little bit, Justin, I'll start with you first, about going through the college ranks into pro ball, and then Joe, you follow up talking about through high school.
Yeah, I think without college, I wouldn't be where I'm at, to be honest with you. I learned how to work. I learned how to be a professional. Got to play some really good talent, and kind of came into my own as a man. And fortunate for my dad sending me to a school like BC and giving me a chance to play right away. Our motto was go get a spot and go show you could play. There's only a limited number of spots in college baseball in those big conferences. So as African-American players.
Were there many black players in college baseball?
Not in my conference. There were a few on every team. I know Jacob Hayward was at Miami.
Yeah, it's not good when we go,
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man.
Joe, I'll let you follow up, and then I'll see why I take over.
No, I mean, it was a little bit of a learning curve. Definitely, figuring out scheduling and figuring out how to, prepare yourself. You get into pro ball out of high school. There's no real yellow brick road on how to do that. I was lucky to have real support behind me and my family. I've always been close with. I've been able to lean on them when I needed help, when I needed guidance and a way through. But yeah, I mean, same thing as Justin said here. I went out, first spring, and the goal was to, find a spot, show myself, show that what I'm capable of, and stay true to who I am as a player. But yeah, it's a learning curve. It's something that you got to grind through. You got to find your way, find your niche, and yeah, that's what we do every year.
Man, I love that you guys are here, and I love that so many different events are going on that brings players from all around the country together to be able to bounce ideas off of each other. I mean, I just saw Joe Adell not too long ago in the Bahamas.
Oh,
we were all with the Players Alliance where they were honoring Jazz Chisholm. You had the Prime Minister in the Bahamas speak. It was a big-time home run derby by an organization called Don't Blink that the Players Alliance partnered up with. And you talking about an amazing event. I mean, you're talking about a home run derby that's on the ocean. Guys are hitting home runs into the water. I'm able to see Joe Adell and other superstar players like Jazz Chisholm and Kyle Lewis and many other guys going out there having fun, being a part of the community. And they're growing baseball out there in the Bahamas as well. They just built a brand new large facility out there in the Bahamas for players to have access to the game, to try to continue to build this game around players of color. And you being out there, it shows the community that's being created and how much each player supports one another, which really explains why you guys are here probably, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, the Players Alliance, I remember the first event I was ever a part of, we had that gear drive out here in AZ. And, I just remember how special that was to be able to hand, families and players and particularly, the minorities that couldn't afford, that level of baseball gear. Because a lot of times we talk about how expensive it is to play this game. And when you want to play at a high level, and to be able to go out and hand, guys gear that's good gear, be able to give them a glove that they can have for more than 2 years if need be. That's what's really important, because this game, to do it the way that it needs to be done and to play at the levels that these guys out here are trying to get to and where we're blessed to be at now, you need the right tools. You need the right tools, you need the right things around you and the right people, and that's what all of that brings.
Justin, spring training out here in Arizona, you enjoying it?
Love it. Love it. Love it, man. Nothing better. Short commutes, good weather all the time. It's the perfect place to be.
Yeah. I started in this stadium. It didn't used to be the Angels. This was the Mariners. I'm going to show you some video, man. I'll snap you back. Spring training. That's old Tempe Diablo Stadium. I was mic'd up back there. I was talking smack. Yeah, good call, bro. Umpire, good call.
You think players are just getting swag? Harold had a Jerry
Cheetahs
curl
don't
back
stretch.
then.
Cheetahs don't stretch.
Hat in the back pocket. I was styling. I was looking like Joe, man, coming in here and working it. Hey, this has been fantastic. I want to thank MLB. I want to thank MLB Network for allowing us to come out here and do this with the Dream Series and really just represent black baseball and let people know kids are really actually playing, especially on this historic weekend that's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend that we celebrate around our country. So what a great series. We're just getting kicked off. You're going to hear more about a lot of these prospects coming through. How great was Hunter Green and Cam Johnson?
This is gold. This is absolute gold. I mean, we saw conversations from current players and players who are trying to find their way all coming together and sharing that knowledge. It's a beautiful event. I'm so glad you guys are here to share your knowledge with these young players. They can use it for years to come. But just don't take it easy on them when they make it to the big league and trying to take your job.
Never.
All right, that's it from here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Andrew McCutchen went back home to Pittsburgh, signed with the Pirates. That was the big news today.